In this presentation, we will try to understand what is putchar function in C. So let's get started. Here is the prototype of the putchar function. Putchar function returns an integer and it actually accepts an integer argument. So putchar accepts an integer argument which represents a character it wants to display and returns an integer representing the character written on the screen. So what putchar function does is, putchar function accepts an integer argument which is actually representing a character it wants to display on the screen, and it returns an integer which is actually representing the character it writes on the screen. So this is what putchar function does. So putchar function actually puts the character on the screen. But why we are writing int here as well as int here? Why we cannot simply write char here and char here? Actually, we should always remember that character is internally represented in binary form only, right? It doesn't make any difference if you write int ch instead of char ch. It doesn't make any difference. If we write char here, there is no problem. But the prototype is actually saying that there should be an int here and int here, although it doesn't make any difference. Okay? Why it doesn't make any difference? If we take an example of a character, let's say capital A, decimal equivalent of that character in ASCII is 65, right? So if we store that character in a character variable, so simply a character A will get stored in a character variable, and finally it will be represented in a binary form in our computer. So binary equivalent of that character is actually stored in our computer. Now if we store that character in an integer variable, then the decimal equivalent of that character, which is 65, will get stored in that integer variable, and finally that 65 will also be represented in binary form in our computer. So the binary form that we are getting from an integer variable and the binary form that we are getting from a character variable, both are one and the same. The difference is in size. In my computer, character variable is capable of holding 1 byte of data, while integer variable is capable of holding 4 bytes of data. And if you see the ASCII table, we actually want to represent all the 128 characters, right? So a character variable which is capable of holding 1 byte of data can represent up to 256 characters. So there is no problem in storing all those 128 characters in that character variable. And of course, there is no problem in storing these characters in an integer variable as well, because integer variable is of larger size, right? So the conclusion is int can be replaced by character, but as it is a prototype which is already predefined, we have to follow this prototype. It is this putchar function is accepting an integer argument and it returns an integer, okay? Although if a prototype says that it is a character and it is also a character, then also there is no problem. Now let's see one example here. In this example, we have a main function, and within this main function, I have declared one variable ch, which is of type integer. That means it is capable of holding an integer, right? Within this for loop, I'm initializing this ch with a character a, which means the decimal equivalent of this character a in ASCII will get stored in this ch variable, right? So 65 will be stored in our ch variable. After that, we will check this condition. Is ch is less than or equal to z? Definitely the z is greater than a, because the ASCII code equivalent of z is 90 while that of a is 65. 65 is definitely less than 90. Therefore the condition is satisfied. We come inside and we will put that character a on the screen. So putchar function puts this character a on the screen. After that, we will increment the value of ch. Now it becomes 66. We again check this condition. Again 66 is less than 90. Therefore the condition is again satisfied. We come inside and we'll put another character, that is b, because the character equivalent of 66 is b. This whole process continues in the same way, and hence all the characters from A to Z will get printed on the screen. When it reaches Z, that is 90, 90 is equal to 90. Condition is again satisfied. Hence Z will also get printed on the screen. But when it reaches 91, then this condition is not satisfied. Hence we come outside of this for loop and the whole process is finished. Hence all the characters from A to Z will finally get printed on the screen. Right? Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this presentation.